Good morning and welcome in, everybody. As we transition into this Tuesday morning, the second day of July, as we get closer to July 4th on Friday. So these markets are going to be a little interesting for the intermediate week. The fact that Friday is the 4th of July and you're not going to have the typical trading that we normally would. Now, we will have trading until about 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But the futures market, the normal trading market will close before 4 p.m. So it'll be 3 hours early in observance for 4th of July. Right now, we had Bitcoin pop up about 1.76%, sitting at 107,573. Still in the essential no man's land. We need some kind of spike out of here to push us over this resistance right at about 109,000. So in theory, you could come up there even if bearish. 3 hourly, we had a little bit of a movement at nighttime. No volume to show for it. So I don't know if this is going to have sustainability going into the holiday weekend or not. But this is going to be a big moment here today. A little bit of a flag that's starting to develop here. So we'll see as this transpires through the day. One of the big things, obviously, we're going to be looking at as the day transgression, the transgression in the day or the progresses in the day, is XRP, which looks horrible right now. Doesn't look very good. It tried to come up overnight, and we got a firm rejection back at about $2.20.2, and that was about 4 a.m. And it's been the steady progressive down so far. 30 minutes trying to... There's not much here. Looks like a head and shoulders formed here. Like, you can see a small head and shoulders. This doesn't look that great. Now, if we can get a bounce back and get over 223, okay. But that kind of looks like a left shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder in development. If that's the case, it'll at least bring us to a reset down to 206. And then we'll decide, can we hold that 206 area that would technically kind of be like the make it or break it zone, or would we come down below that 206 and ultimately push to the $1.92? A rejection at 223 and a successive failure to breach back over it would give you the technical drop to $1.92 in theory. That's the pattern breakout back test, and since we lost the uptrend after the breakout, that would seem to be the logical conclusion. Let me go into the intro real quick and then we'll go farther. I appreciate everybody who watches. I thank you for the 44,700 subscribers. And this morning, if you got out ahead, I did a 60-second short on my way to the gym. It was about 8 a.m. It did rather well. There's been, in the first hour and 25 minutes, there has been about 600, hour and 22 minutes, there's been about 600 views so far already. So getting out there just fine. And then after I get done with my workout, I come home, I do this update for about 10 to 20 minutes. Yesterday was 23 minutes. Today I'll probably be closer to 10. And then in the afternoon or early evening around 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, if you want to learn more, come watch the live. I'll try to do a short before the live just so everybody knows what's going on. And then we'll go on from there. At the gym today, I did my weigh-in for the first time in 3 weeks. And last time I was the lowest I ever weighed at 174.4 pounds. And the most muscle I've had in my body in my lifetime. And now this week, I knocked off 2.4 pounds, and now it's down to 172 with the continued muscle growth. So that actually was pretty surreal to see that weight. So with that being said, good morning. 9:36 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Wednesday, July 2nd, 2025. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. And I might have already said that once. I don't remember. So you might have got 2 intros. But at the very least one. So we need to make sure that's not a head and shoulders and that this little inverse pattern is going to play out. If that is, we shouldn't give up at any time $2.06, even if it comes down. We could see a rotational flip here if we can get some kind of positive momentum. The hourly is trying. We're bouncing off the 2 hour or the 200 day, which means that if this holds, you'd have a first layer retest, especially if we can get a little bit of confluency from Bitcoin. Some positive flow here on this Wednesday. You would be coming up and trying to seek out in current times right around 223.65. So with what's going on in the rest of the market, I could see that happening. As long as Bitcoin keeps this upper momentum, I can see XRP making that little bit of a volatile spike here. We'll see what happens. Yes, it doesn't look great right now, but we are trying to put these short-term reversals in. So I could see us with some positive momentum and maybe retesting that top. You know, you never know. You never can quite tell here because we are still on the top side. Still have that inversion. Still have the inverse head and shoulders that hasn't given away. Back tested the initial push up. So as of right now, not horrible. Now, if we start seeing it drift down, obviously that's a problem. I would continue to tell you if you're in XRP, I wouldn't do anything yet as far as selling or anything. But if you're not in it, make sure it's over $2.23 because you're going to want to hold that layer. Right now, we're at that death cross in the 30-minute, and we're looking at a rejection. So we need to see if we get some positive momentum. Much better if we get over 220 to start pushing that 223 point because where it's at right now, could be some volatility to the downside, but it's going to depend a lot on what Ethereum and Bitcoin decides to do today. Bitcoin has this bull flag. So this bull flag, assuming this can break up from here, you're looking at about 109 to 110,000 on this push up, which would lead for some positive momentum for XRP if we can maintain this. But obviously we have that death cross we're trying to get past in the small time frames. Those are lagging indicators, so you don't want to put a whole lot of stock in the hourly. It's just the first layer. So we have a little reversal in the 30-minute, or the 30-minute has the death cross. The hourly has a little bit of a reversal, gets the 200-day reverses. So now you start looking at the 2 and 4 hourly to where we might have to go. Bounced off the 2 hourly, 200-day. Probably if it comes back up in line for that retest to see if that golden cross holds. So the golden cross is there in the 4 hourly while the death cross is in the 1 hourly. So you have conflicting things in the micro compared to the little bit higher out. So obviously that's something to watch right now. So we'll see. But with what Bitcoin's doing right now, I think we're in the upward momentum right now. You know, I think we could find ourselves in that upward tug. So if you have XRP, sit around for a minute. You know, enjoy the ride. And, you know, see what happens here. I wouldn't necessarily be like, hey, sell this right now. I like to watch it as it plays out. So, like, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. If it starts to break down, obviously you can do what you want. But right now we're showing a tiny opportunity here. So just let it play through. I'm XRP Future Millionaire. If you want to see more content, if you want to hear more things, if you want to be more a part, make sure you join my website, XRPFutureMillionaire.com. It's every single day I'm trying to finish this as fast as I can. The last thing I need to do is make this to where I can put live content on the website. Everything else is basically the way I want it. If you want to search, XRP 24/7 live chart is here constantly. It'll always be on the market cap. You can change it to whichever XRP chart or any other chart you want for that matter. You can put anything you want, but if you don't want the XRP market cap, I like to have the XRP market cap up there personally. But you can pull up any chart you want, any of them. Futures charts, XRP pairing to anything else. You can put an XRP in the, you know, any kind of currency as well. We'll just do it based on the US dollar. If you want to put an indicator in there, go for it. We have the moving average convergence divergence. Throw it on there. You've already got volume on there that goes automatically, just the way I set it up. You've got MACD, and then you can do a third one as well. So if you want to add the RSI in there, you don't even have to download TradingView. You get all these indicators on here that you can do. It's got everything you need to see. And if you're not familiar with TradingView, this is a fantastic way to do this. We do seem to be topping a little bit on money flow as it continues to pour down in the moving average convergence divergence. And anything short of some green volume coming in, it's neutral right now. If it flips to red, it's a problem. The RSI is technically flipping down. If it breaks below that yellow trend line, it's a big issue and it could be moving into bearish territory. So like I said, if you're not in, I'd pay attention. But that very well could be a big W reversal, cup and handle with the bull flag set up. So it's very much in the middle. If you come on here, you can see everything that I do as well. Some questions and answers. There's ways to join everything that I do. So if you want to join Tom's Army, you click on there, it goes to Tom's Army. You want to join the exclusive Telegram, you just click on it, it goes to the exclusive Telegram. You want to trade on, let's just say, BitUnix, you go on here, it's got BitUnix, you just pop it right up. It's very easy, it's all intuitive, it's all State of the art as far as what I can do right now. Dedicated servers, 5 years. Put a lot of time and effort and money into it just to make it progressive. And that's thanks to everybody who subscribes to Tom's Army, pays it forward to YouTube Super Chats, joined my channel, and allowed me to put this out. I want to make an all-stop shop in one place for us who love what we do here. So have a blessed morning. I'll continue this in the afternoon. Make sure to hit that like button. But I've got a lot of stuff to take care of today. And I'm just blessed to have each and every one of you along with the ride.